welcome to Scale Car Garage. Well, as you can see, we're in organized chaos mode here at Scale Car Garage because we've been casting. And, well, what have we been casting? Believe it or not, we've been casting, well, what we usually cast, resin. And as you can see, different colors of resin. And I know this looks like a really bad Jackson Pollock, but there's a reason for all these different colors that are actually quite well, rigid. It's kind of like a finger paint picture that, well, you can build something out of, perhaps. Anyway, rather than me being so cryptic, why don't I show you what I've been casting and what I've been working on here at Scale Car Garage. So the mess on the other workbench was caused by, well, casting. And I was casting a particular car in different colors. And I'm sure you may remember this project. I took a die cast of an Alfa Duetto Spider, took it apart, stripped the paint off the metal parts, and prepared all of the parts to be molded. Made molds, two-part molds, and then, well, that mess is a result of casting parts for the car. And the first cast I did was in just plain resin. And, you know, the first cast, especially when you're doing two-part molds, it usually absorbs a lot of the release agent that you use in pouring the second mold, and it comes out okay. Sometimes it doesn't, most times it doesn't, and it's sort of a sacrificial casting. So the second casting, which comes out usually as it should, I did in red. And of course, when you do the body, excuse me, I'm going to put my glasses on here, just to make sure that the color is consistent, I have enough resin to do the doors, as you can see here, the under tray of the car, as you can see, and I also did the bumper. Now, in retrospect, I realize this does not necessarily have to be done in body color, because I hope you can see that I have done some detailing on it. It has dark inlets for the air, for the radiator. I painted the turn signals and the bumpers. And because of the way the car is assembled, allow me to please show you this under tray, which thankfully is a body color and matches perfectly because I did it in the same batch of resin. Well, you know, that blocks it all. And then this goes on the front of the car like so. And there you have everything color matched. So the bumper itself does not necessarily have to be in body color. So I erred on the side of caution just to make sure, just in case. But it worked out rather well. And of course we have, you know, the grill that goes in here like so. And you can see it kind of starts coming together as a car, which I think is really kind of cool. And I've detailed a lot of these parts already with some paint because I was really impatient. I suppose I could have showed that to you, but anyway, let me continue on. The red looks really good, and believe it or not, I mean, apart from filling in the panel lines with some gloss black, very thin gloss black paint, this is the way the car comes out of the mold. You could polish it a bit, I suppose, but quite frankly, I didn't. And really pleased with the finish. Hopefully you can see there's quite a nice shine to that. I mean, look at that. That's lovely. The next color I wanted to try was yellow, and you know, this car looks great in yellow. So again, to color match all the parts of the car. You poured the body, the doors, the under tray, and of course the bumper, front bumper, which well, in retrospect wasn't necessary, but I did it anyway, and I'm repeating myself. And it actually turned out very, very well. Took the parts, assembled them, detailed them, and here is the yellow Duetto Spider. I think it looks so cool. And again, this is the way it came out of the mold. It's really quite shiny. And of course, you know, we made molds for the glass and for the vent windows. But it detailed up really nicely. The one thing that, and I have to thank a gentleman named Klaus, who is an amazing slot car builder, by the way. If you get on Slot Forum, look for his build. They're phenomenal. He and I have been emailing back and forth about this car, and I used the side view mirror from the diecast, and he mentioned, and I absolutely agree, it's not great, no. So I think for the next assembly, I have a ray dot in 1/32 scale that I think I will try and use, that I'm sure will look better. So anyway, Klaus, thank you very much. It's you've been so supportive with this project, and looking at the pictures I've sent and so forth. Anyway, thank you very much, Klaus. Anyway, I'm really excited about this because this is, of course, a static version of the car. You can see there's the underside. There's no guide shoe. It's a static version. Basically, a yellow version of the diecast, only in resin. A lot lighter, actually. But here's the cool thing. Guess what works? Yes, the doors open. Look at that. Isn't that great? I think the detail inside is just lovely. Turned out so well. And it's just a lovely piece of scenery, I think. And of course, I had to put it around the track and see what it would look like. And I think it turned out really, really well. I have some figures that I think would fit as drivers and passengers inside, so I got to get to that. But very, very cool as a piece of scenery. The next step is, well, to make it go around the track. And I really think this red version is going to be, I'm going to try and use this to make a slot car. Now, here is something that, well, you know, I'd love to hear your feedback about it. I think that what I would like to do first is to try and make a slot car with opening doors. And you'll think, well, why? Well, why not? Give it a try. What really amazes me about the static car, in the diecast version, there's a piece of spring steel that goes, that triangulates with a, I can show you with this, right here. You can see that. This holds a piece of spring steel to keep the doors closed and give some resistance when they're open on the diecast version. What I find really interesting on this resin version is that there's no such mechanism. I did not put any kind of spring steel piece or anything like that. And the resin itself gives enough friction, for lack of a better description, to keep the doors, look at this, it keeps the doors closed. So I thought, before I go and create a full-on one-piece slot car body, why not try to build a slot car with opening doors? So that's the next step. And yes, I will document it, and we'll take you along for the journey. But I just wanted to update you on this Alfa project that you have been so supportive on, and wanted to show how well, if there is anything you want to make, you can cast it, you can make molds and cast it. If I can do it, you can do it. And hey, it's so much fun. And now the problem is, how many more cars can I make and what different colors? And anyway, I digress. But listen, thank you so very much for joining me here, and just looking at these Alfa Duetto Spiders. I think they've turned out quite well, and I think it'll be interesting to make a slot car with opening doors and a full interior. And here's a question. If we're going to make a slot car with opening doors and a full interior, should it be a street car or a club racer? There's a question. Please answer in the comments below. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are with respect to this red Duetto Spider that we're going to turn into a functioning slot car with opening doors. And we will do that here at Scale Car Garage.
I hope you enjoyed watching. If you did, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe.